Hello, everyone. Welcome to this audio podcast. This audio podcast is part of a Convolute FlashBack. This audio podcast is part of the RainZtorm Squal. This audio podcast is part of the MHC Bostics, and this audio podcast is part of a Storm Bostics production. In this audio podcast, there will be a sort of looking in a sort of an overview in around the in around sort of comments that came back from varying from the varying members who sought to sort of post comments into threads and discussions on the RPSG and around the varying questions that one of the lead researchers had had has sort of initiated in around this works from works from collaborative works from 2014. And so the project and the awareness campaign had received 180 posts or comments between 3 or 4 social media platforms. And the posts and the comments that are going to be shared are primarily comments that have been selected from the RPSG platform, and the understanding at the same time is that any comments in the RPSG or made in the RPSG are anonymous and confidential, thus to protect the privacy around those who post comments in the social media platform. So comment number 1 was, think professionals need to be made aware as they won't see these bands or vascular access or fistulas very often. Number 2, must be honest, I was given one of these by a renal pre-dialysis team by the renal pre-dialysis team when the fistula was constructed. I think they're a really good they're a good idea. Number 3, I think you should get given them. I think get given them. I have been admitted to another hospital, and I have had doctors and nurses adamant that they were using my vascular access despite telling them I had a fistula. Number 4, these bracelets or these wristbands are a brilliant idea. Number 5, I worry that I might not be able to speak, and they use my vascular access. Thank you again, and where one comment referring to one of the lead researchers around this works was had said to the lead researcher, kidney patients or recipients need all the help that they can get. Comment 6 was something else I've talked about is a sleeve to cover the vascular access or fistula during procedures, as if as if uh, as if you read as if you read some of my if you read some of the comments, like myself, all manner of things have been utilized, and it's all about patience. It's all about patience being 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 able to keep the vascular access safe, um, and at the and at the end of the day, it's also important. And number seven, comment seven was I was shocked at the number of times I had to I had to tell I had to tell staff to take blood and to take arterial blood pressure from the right from from the dominant from the non-dominant arm versus the dominant arm, the from the dominant arm. Number seven, comment eight. Um, I had spent about 3 days. I mean, 3 days in one of the local hospitals, during which time I was in accident and emergency, and three across three different wards, and none of them being renal, or none of them being kidney. In all of these, the staff noticed my fistula or vascular access, vascular access, the armband of the armband or the wristband, and said they thought it was a really good idea. Hopefully, if more fellow patients or recipients sort of wore uh, one, any accidental use can be uh, any accidental use can be avoided. Number nine, comment nine. What I would like to see, what I would like to add, is more training for staff, as most are keen to learn, and and also uh, also where they were where they positively where staff had positively commented, that positively commented, um, that 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 they had that they saw a patient recipient wearing a wristband, and that uh, they had they and they had mentioned more, at the same time, more could and should be done, and and at the same time, a comment as part of this was that, as part of comment nine as well, the vulnerable are sort of the biggest are sort of the biggest concern, biggest concern. But then at the same time, everyone is that vulnerable at some point. So not everyone wants to shout out like where there's one comment, where there's one person who commented in around this works did. Comment 10 was, I was thinking they could even maybe do one for patients on peritoneal dialysis. I know it's not as much as a pain. No, it's not much as much not as much of a pain as hemodialysis, but I think it always helps to have an easy way for NHS staff to see if a patient has something same with to see if a patient has something same with transplants. So those were some of the comments that were shared on the RPSG during the time of this collaborative works from 2014. Originally there were 180 comments, 180 comments between four social media platforms, and just around 10 sort of comments were just shared here, just to provide a sort of a basis in around this works. That draws this audio podcast to a close. This has been an audio podcast as part of the Convolute FlashBack, an audio podcast as part of the RainZtorm Squal, this audio podcast as part of the MHC Bostics, and this audio podcast as part of Storm the Bostics production.